Welcome back for your monthly dose, your prescription of science.
Had to get prescription in there, didn't you?
I
I
had to.
hate you.
I know, I love it. We're here for another ranking episode here in We Roguelike It. I'm your host, Boston PhD. Joining me, as always, on the Council of Science is Dr. Moon
Mm-hmm.
and Monkey DDS.
Hello.
We're here to pass judgment on Moonlighter. But before we do that, we're going to wrap up our final thoughts about the game and whether or not we will continue to play it after we're done with the series. As always, Mr. Monkey, what are your final thoughts on Moonlighter?
All right. So I think Moonlighter is a great game, like overall. It has, really good art, really good animation, really good music. Not really great combat, but it's
Yeah.
serviceable.
Yeah.
It's not really great main story, but the side stories, I think, they were interesting enough to make me talk to the random NPCs after every story beat. They just have something random to say. But however, I don't think it's a great roguelike. Like even in their own description, it's an action RPG with roguelite elements.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's
couching
not
it a lot.
really a roguelike.
Yeah.
The main thing is there's no permadeath. So like
Yes.
that's a real staple of a roguelike. Instead, death only loses you some items or most of your items, but you get to keep all your equipment and stuff, like all the upgrades. So yeah, that makes me wonder where this is going to end up on this list.
Yes, it's a very good question. Yeah,
I don't think I'm going to play it again, but I'm probably going to have it installed or keep it installed because my girlfriend really likes it, and she often likes to go back to games that she likes.
Right.
So, she'll keep playing it, and maybe, I don't know, maybe sometime when I see her playing it, I'm like, maybe I can go back to it.
Yeah.
There's a reason I have Rainbow Six Siege installed on my Xbox.
Right. It's for a rainy day.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. All right, Moon, what are your final thoughts on Moonlighter?
I genuinely quite enjoyed this game. I will keep playing it because I am an achievement fiend, and my new hashtag 80% rule is right there. It's like within arm's reach. So this will be a very good. I just got home. It's been a 6-day working week, like it has last week, for example.
Right.
And I just need something I can play for a couple of hours that I don't need to pay attention to, because some of the more recent purchases I've made, listen to the main show for those, need 100% attention at all times. And it's just
like a lot of heavy lifting games.
Yeah, I need another game like this. Like I need another game like this, like Warframe, like other things I can just literally load up, not think about, smoosh a button a whole bunch of times and watch things explode into cotton candy of items.
Right.
And it's been a while since I've given myself a challenge. So like that speedrun and no hit challenge, it's doable. Like the combat's not great, but it's slow enough that I feel like I'm not that old where I'll still be able to hopefully do the no hits taken and the broom boss rush modes.
Right.
Like, hopefully I'll be able to get them done and dusted within the time frame of actually, playing the game.
Right.
But no, I liked it. Like Monkey said, animation's great, looks good, music is fantastic.
Yep.
Combat is the huge downfall in this game. Like it's so slow considering we are all Isaac pros at this point.
It's not as good as the rest of the game is. It is definitely its weakest element. It's not bad, but it's just sort of like, man, the rest of this game is just like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, and the combat is fine. Like, it's good, but,
the whole store thing is very unique. Like, getting these items and selling them is such a unique idea that it deserves a little bit of merit on its own for that.
Yeah, and there have been other titles that have done similar things like Racketeer, but they have never been so focused on running the shop and having, like, a a competent combat system. So I feel like that's what really makes Moonlighter special, is that both halves of the game are competent. You know, it's not just like the running of the shop is a really great part, and the combat is, you know, you just hit the A button for a bunch. But yeah, I really like Moonlighter. I'm glad they have stuck with it, and I am glad that I played it again, because I think, like I talked about in the last episode, I think the loop is so satisfying that running the shop feels really satisfying, and it's a really great break from the combat. And then the combat is a really great break from running the shop, and the combat is good enough to be fun, but, you know, maybe not as fast paced as maybe I would design it. And the game is really great, and I think I agree with you, Monkey, that it's not the best roguelike, especially because the difficulty really isn't there. Like, if you really play it cautiously, you kind of won't die really ever.
There's an achievement for like beating the game and dying less than 40 times. I think I died like 5 times.
Yeah,
and I didn't play conservatively. I played fast and hard.
Yeah, and like you can sometimes get kind of cornered by a bunch of enemies and you just get juggled and knocked down, but even then the game is just like, yeah, you tried, slugger, get back in there. Like it's fine. I probably won't be playing it again, mostly because I sunk so much time into this originally. But Moonlighter is just a really great game. I really like Moonlighter.
Mm-hmm.
So let's figure out where it's going to go in our giant list here. Pre-show we discussed, and we're going to start in the top 20 here. So is Moonlight better than Vambrace Cold Soul?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, Vambrace has got a cool story and everything, but I would put it above Vambrace.
I would agree. Is Moonlighter better than Don't Starve?
Yeah, Don't Starve is so hard. It's so hard.
It's the opposite problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
I could get behind that, yeah. Is Moonlighter better than Cave Blazers?
See, I think Cave Blazers is a better roguelike, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because it has that roguelike loop instead of the like
gameplay loop.
Dungeon loop. Yeah.
Right.
Like it has the permadeath, it has the well, I guess Moonlighter does have procedurally generated dungeons, but
technically, I guess, yeah.
They're not so different from each other run to run. And Cave Blazers kind of is like, yeah, you're just going up, top, down, but
it has that thing where you die and another explorer like busts into the dungeon and be like, I'll be the one to win. Blah. I'll be the one, you know, like, yeah. I would be okay with Moonlighter staying there, because we ask the darkest dungeon question all the time, which is it a better roguelike? And I think I would agree that it's probably not. It's a great game. I think it's a better game.
It's a really good game. Yeah.
Yeah, but
100% Moonlighter's better game than
I think its position in the list is not indicative of its quality, but of its roguelikeness.
Its quality as a roguelike. No.
That's right. That's right.
Because let's face it, if this was a of a roguelikeness, then Rogue would be number one and nothing else would be.
That's right. That's right. All right, well, that is number something here in the list. I've number 20 and 18, 19, 18, 19 in the list. Congratulations, Moonlighter. You're our 19th best roguelike in the list. Math is really hard. This list is starting to get big. And we have like 120 games left in the list, but we're not going to talk about that. Don't forget, our very next game is Everspace. I remember to talk about it in this episode and not the last one, cough, cough. But thank you very much, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you next run. Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.